I think in this culture, and in this country for sure, and maybe all of Western culture, we have an aversion to grief. We have an aversion to difficult feelings. We have an aversion to processing that, not just individually, but as a community. And I think that's what makes humans human, is that we have this ability to process things collectively and communally. And that's the way we get through difficult things since humans existed, through communal aspects, through ceremony, through talking about it together, through community. And that's what we do. And if you look at the last 18 months, it was tragic and traumatic in all sorts of ways. The COVID-19 pandemic, hundreds of thousands of Americans died. Most of us know someone that was at least passed away or at least affected. The fires, the Cameron Peak fire, so many people were displaced. There was death and destruction from that. There were so many overdose deaths. There were suicide deaths. Not only deaths, that is something that we experienced, but we also experienced loss in losing our normal routines. Our boundaries were blurred, right? Before we might have been a parent, we'd get our kids fed, we'd make sure they go off to school, then we put in our work clothes, we drive or ride our bike to work, we have our work personality, we go home, we pick up kids, we change clothes, we make dinner. We had all these kind of little boundaries set up. Those things were all blurred. Most of us were working from home. We lost our face-to-face connection and relationships with coworkers. We lost our face-to-face connection and relationship with family members, with best friends, even with people we maybe see regularly at the grocery store. So there really was this collective loss that I don't think we've processed. We came out of the pandemic, it seems, pretty quickly in the spring. And I think it was kind of just ignored and just disassociated and didn't need to process it. And I think we're missing out on what really makes us human and what gives humans that strength, which is processing things collectively and leaning into that grief, leaning into that sense of uncomfortable feeling and doing it together. So I think the only way to really come out of this is to do it together, to talk about it, to lean in, to have some calls to action, to check in with your family, check in with your coworkers, check in with that random person at the grocery store. Whatever you can do, check in and ask what it was, ask what we lost, and then we can come out of this together. So I'm inviting everyone to please join and attend our virtual Lifesavers breakfast, which is Tuesday, September 28th. Please make it if you can. I'd love to expand on this further, and I think that's what the community needs. That's what this country needs. That's what our state needs. That's what Larimer County needs. That's what Northern Colorado needs. And I'd love to just hold a little space for all of us to process, sit with some of that, and heal together, because that's the only way we're going to move forward together.